Okay, today we are still on special right triangles, page 3. Yesterday what we did is we covered a particular special right triangle that had a 45 degree angle. So the moment you see a triangle with 45, you should think the other angle is 45. Of course, that's assuming you've got a right angle or a right triangle. Okay, today we're going to look at a different kind of triangle, and that is coming up. But before that, let's make sure that we can remember what we did yesterday. So there's two problems on the assignment for today. Number one, you've got two simplification of radicals to review that. Take a moment, pause the video, try to do that and see if you can get the correct answer and simplify it completely. And then come back and check it out and I'll go over the explanation. Okay, so the first thing I noticed about 405 is that would be the same as, it ends in a 5, so I know doesn't end in an even number, but it ends in a 5, so I know it's divisible by 5. So that's going to be what? That's going to be 81, I believe. So 81 times 5 is the same as 405, and you can break it down on your calculator. And 81, if you remember your squares, is the same as 9 times 9, so that's equal to 9 times 9 times 5. We got two things we can pull out, so that's going to be the same as 5, okay? So the answer on that one is C. Okay, so 108 is the same as 2 times 54. That's the same as 2 times 2 times 27. So we can pull a 2 out. Can we pull anything out of the 27? What's the same as 2? That's the same as 3 times 9. And remember, 9 is a perfect square. So when I pull that out, that's like 3. So that's like 2 times 3, root 3. Again, this one becomes a 3, right? So that's 6 root 3, which is our another C. Okay, so that's how you do that. Go ahead and check the review questions, and I'll come back with a solution on those. Okay, quick review on this in the previous page. Remember, legs are equal, and hypotenuse is equal to a leg times root 2, and when you have a 45, 45, 90, and the leg is equal to the hypotenuse divided by root 2, which is the same as hypotenuse root 2 over 2. So we're going to use that on these questions right here. Okay, the first one, number 3, let's see. This is a 45, 45, 90. This is a leg, so that automatically makes that leg. And then the leg times root 2 is equal to the hypotenuse, so that would be 7 root 2 is equal to hypotenuse. Okay, 7 root 2 is for u. Let's see, u. Okay, there we go. Looks like they're all C today, huh? Okay, now if you look at number 4, another 45, 45, 90, same process over here. But here we have the hypotenuse. So if we got the hypotenuse, that means that the hypotenuse divided by root 2 is equal to the the leg. Well, you can see that these cancel, and basically 8 is going to be our hypotenuse. So I'm sorry, the leg. So both M and N are going to be 8. So that's C. Oh my gosh, everything's C today. Okay. Anyway, quick review. But now what we're going to do today is we're going to look at what's called a 30, 60, 90 triangle. Okay. So now we are on page 4. And I told you the other day that when we have right triangles, right? If you have two sides, if you have two legs, or if you have the two sides are given, let's just say we know this and we know that we have a number for it, we can solve for the missing side. But if we only have one side, we can't unless we know an angle. So we figured out yesterday that a 45, 45, 90 meant that these two sides, the two angles are the same, right? This and this, meaning the two sides that correspond to them are the same. So by having one leg, we really have the other. Or if we've got a hypotenuse on a 45, 45, 90, we can figure out the leg by going in reverse. Well, today, there's one other triangle that we should be very familiar with. It shows up all the time, and that's a 30, 60, 90, meaning if I see a right triangle and I see a 30, I should automatically think, well, hey, that's 60, right? Because 90 plus 90 is 180, and vice versa. If I see a right triangle with 60, my brain should automatically think, oh, it's a right triangle, that means I'm missing the 30, or a 30, 60, 90, they call it. So what is the rule between the legs and the hypotenuse? Well, first, you're going to have a long leg that corresponds to the 60, and a short leg that corresponds to the 30. Hypotenuse is equal to the short leg. Let's make the short leg L for now. And the long leg, by the way, is going to be L times root 3. And the hypotenuse is going to be L times 2, or 2L. That's a relationship. So let's say, for example, if we have the 30-degree side is 6, that means that the long leg corresponding to 60 is going to just be 6 root 3. And the hypotenuse is just going to be 2 times 6, which is equal to 12. So just like that, by having the 30-degree side, we can quickly figure out the 60-degree side and the hypotenuse. So the hypotenuse is equal to 2 times the short leg. I'll make that L. And the long leg is equal to the short leg times root 3. Short leg is equal to, let's see, what would that be? I guess the hypotenuse divided by 2, or the long leg, maybe we'll put like that, long leg divided by root 3, because you're going reverse, right? Okay, so there you go. So that's basically the relationship. So if we know that, we can do some triangles, right? So let's look at 1A and B. Try to take a moment to think about that. So if we know the 30-degree side is equal to 4, then we know that, and maybe what we should do, maybe if you set it up, is maybe make the short leg x and the long leg x root 3 and hypotenuse 2x. But if you got a 3069, you remember L is the short leg. So let's see. So that means 4 is a short leg. So if I've got the short leg times root 3, I can get the long leg, right? So that would be 4 root 3. And then the hypotenuse is equal to 2 times the short leg. So that means that's 4. That would be 8. Okay, it's that simple, guys. Let's see here. What do we have? We have the 60-degree side. So what do we do with the 60-degree side? For the long leg, well, we have to divide it by root 3 to get the short leg. So that would be this one, 15 root 3 divided by root 3. Well, hey, they cancel each other out, and then that means that 30 is going to be 15. And I know 2 times the short leg is equal to the hypotenuse, so 2 times 15 is equal to 60. Okay. So there you go. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys try. I might help you do the first one here. Number 5 and 6. Why don't we do number 5 and 6? So let's try. We already did 3 and 4. Okay. So take a moment to do 5 and 6, and then I'll come back and go over the solutions with you. Let me copy those, put those over. Okay, so number 5. Let's see. Okay, first of all, now this is where you can line them up. Maybe you can put short leg, and then the long leg can be over here. Maybe long leg, and then you can put the hypotenuse. Okay, so let's see. If you got the short leg, that's going to be the 30, 60, 90 for the hypotenuse. All right, so what do we have? We have what are we given? We have a 30. That's going to be the y. X is going to be the 60, and 8 is going to be the 90. So we already know that if we've got the hypotenuse, we can take that and divide it by 2 to get the short leg, right? So that means the short leg is 4. So that's the 30 side. So that's going to be 4. Now, we also know that the short leg times root 3 is equal to the long leg. So let's go 4 root 3. That's all we basically have to do. So that's going to be the long leg, or x. That goes with the 60. Okay. So the short leg, again, is 4. And the long leg is 4. So, okay, so that one's going to be B. Okay. All right, good. So number 6, if you haven't tried it, try it and pause it and come back. But if you tried it, basically same thing, right? So you got 60. Let's see, we got 2. What is that? Well, 60 corresponds to that side. So that would be the 30 over here. This is your hypotenuse. So if we've got the 30, then maybe remember the short leg times root 3 equals the long leg. So 2 times root 3 is equal to the long leg, which is b, 2 root 3. And then the hypotenuse is 2 basically times 2, so that's just 4. Okay, so hypotenuse is going to be 4. Okay, 2 root 3, and that's all there is to that one. Okay, so you can do the next ones over here for the assignment. And when you're done, let me check it out and be sure to enter your answers into Canvas.